Hey guys, David here, and in this video I would like to give you guys some raw Bing training. We show you guys some things that maybe you haven't seen before. I'm going to try to break this down a little bit for you guys who may be out there struggling and trying to figure out how this whole thing works. And in saying this, this is applicable whether you're in a biz op or whether you're trying to sell a widget, you got a product or service, you're trying to go business to business, none of that matters, right? This is basically the same thing you do for everything. Right, so just pay close attention and eliminate all preconceived notions about what it is that you're doing. Alright, so we have 4 campaigns going, right, and we're spending $5 a day. We have software in place, CPV Labs, I talked about in the other video, do a Google search, whatever it is. CPV Labs passes on what keywords are working, right? It tells me where I'm getting the clicks, and not only where I'm getting the clicks, but where the clicks actually turn into subscribers, right? So if a keyword, and you are going to have keywords that you're going to put in that are just going to be clicky clicks, right? They're going to click, they're going to look at the page, and they're going to go right back, or they're going to close it out, or whatever they do, and they're not going to give you leads. And those keywords that are doing that, get rid of them, right? And that's how you grow exponentially that some people don't get, because when you're spending the amount of money that you're spending, and you're, say right here, right, I'm getting 54 clicks and I spent $4, right? When I get this right, when I whittle this down and I get rid of a lot of those keywords, and I'm only spending money on the keywords that are actually kicking out leads, I'll be spending, you know, $4, $5, $10, whatever it is, but this number will double, triple, quadruple. And the more clicks you get, the more potential leads you have, right? So I don't want you guys to get caught up in your budget right now, because when you're doing what it is that you're doing and you're tracking and you're testing, all of this stuff will explode for you gradually, and I'm going to be showing that over the next few days. I just set this up last night because I just got positioned inside of the business opportunity that I'm in, MOB or MTTB, and if you haven't seen that, just click below. So we got 54 clicks from this campaign 1, right? 11,000 impressions, right? Click-through ratio 46%, and I know it's a terrible click-through ratio. Click-through ratios are not that important. It's a surface level check, right? It's something that you've been pushed and told that is important, just like traffic. Traffic is important. You must master traffic. You have to know how to do all this traffic. You have to spend all these money on all these different products to learn traffic. And if you got a buck, you got traffic, right? It's really simple. And we as human beings kind of complicate things. So the click-through ratio was 46%. I'm happy with that, right? The cost per click was 8 cents. So that's kind of the first real big thing. A lot of times what we're seeing is we're seeing Bing or AdWords, whatever it is, they're suggesting, hey, this keyword, you want to be number 1, it's going to cost you $4. And when you only have 10 or 15 keywords, you really need to spend that, or you potentially need to spend that to get on the first page to get the amount of traffic, right? This is 11,000 impressions. You know, to get 11,000 impressions, you know, when you're using high dollar keywords, you have to spend the high dollars to get those impressions. There's no real way around that. So if we're spending, you know, $4 or $5 or $3 per click, this click-through ratio, you're flipping out about it, right? Oh my God, I need more clicks. I'm spending all this money, right? And you can't really do that on a $5 budget, right? I spent $4.28 as of now. My average position was 4. Right, so I'm in the 4th place and I'm spending 8 cents per click. Can you keep that up? Who has $1? That's what I keep saying. Who has $1? If you have $1, you can go through and you can spend, you know, 10 clicks, right? 10. If you're spending 10 cents, you got 10 clicks per dollar, right? At 10 clicks per dollar, can you figure something out? Sure. If you got a $10 budget, $5 budget, you can do amazing things with this amount of money. It's not the money that's the problem. Right? It's how you're setting up the campaigns. Just like any problem that you have is not your problem. It's how you look at that problem, or how you address that problem, or how you think about that problem. If it is actually a problem, right? Some things are blessings in disguise, in my opinion. So let's go on to the second campaign. Second campaign, we're still spending $5 a day. We got 36 clicks this time, right? We got 8,319 impressions. We got a 42% click-through ratio. We're spending 7 cents, right? I spent $2.55. So far with the average position of about 3, right? Going in at 4, 3.62, going at 4. Call 3, 3.5, maybe? All right, so campaign number 3, we got 31 clicks, we got 13,997 impressions, a 22% click-through ratio, a 9-cent click cost, and I spent $2.79. Average position of $3, average position of 3, right? 3.5, so that's 3.5, right? Not bad. Campaign number 4, $5 a day again, 30 clicks, right? 13,928 impressions, 22% click-through ratio, spending about 6 cents, right, per click. Spend $1.92, and average position is 3.25 on the content network and the search network, because I'm bidding the same, right? I'm not bidding a lot more for one or the other. In some campaigns I will end up doing that, because if you can see here, I'm getting a lot more actual clicks and impressions through the search network, but my actual click-through ratio, right, and again, that's a service level check, I'm getting 44%. So this right here is a little bit better, right? But I'm spending 11 cents versus 7 cents. So I just want to get that through to you guys, right? It's not as important what you're spending, you know, when you have more keywords. And then, like in the other videos that I've talked about, when you're building these campaigns, build them out huge. Build huge campaigns, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 different keywords, right? Because half of them you're not probably going to get any traffic on, right? When I build out campaigns, a lot of them have like the big ones, right? Make money online, affiliate marketing, network marketing. And I'm not going to get any clicks with those, because personally, I'm not going to spend $6, $7, $10 on a click. Not going to do it. I don't care how good that click was, right? If I could guarantee, if I had a goose that laid the golden egg, right, and every time somebody clicked I made $10,000, sure, I'd spend $5 a click. But the truth of the matter is, that's not going to happen. So for those high dollar keywords, you can have them. You can have them. I'll take the low dollar keywords and build it up through volume, right? And you know, at the end of this campaign, right, so far we have 150 clicks through 48,000 impressions, an average click-through ratio of 31%, average cost per click of 8 cents. I spent $11.54, and my average position was 3.83, right, for 150 clicks. And I'll tell you right now, I've got over 70 leads today. 70 for $11, right? And with these networks, what I want you guys to understand is I can pick my traffic, right? I can say I want traffic from the United States. I can say I want traffic from Canada. So if I get the tier 1 traffic, right, why would I spend more money somewhere else or a different way when I can layer this in there, and then this brings down my average cost per lead, right? Lead acquisition as a business, I count it as a whole, right? So if I'm doing solo ads, I'm doing voice broadcasting, I'm doing all these different things, all of those different things have different price points, right? So you may be spending 60 or 70 cents a click for a solo ad. I know some people charge 90 cents, $1, $1.10. I don't do that at all. And I'm going to go into solo ads a little bit later when I do some of the bigger ones that I have set up. And I'm going to break those down and really tell you, you know, how to go about doing those to turn up the profitability. So if I'm spending, you know, this small amount of money to get this many leads, right, this brings down my average cost, right? So if I'm spending this money here, I'm spending this money there, and you know, this is $1 per lead, this is $1.25 per lead, this is 70 cents. When you average all those together, it brings down your cost per lead, or your lead acquisition cost, right? And that's what I care about, right? I want to acquire the lead for as least as possible. I want to have the highest converting leads, and I want to make the most money per click, right? And that's earnings per click, right? Because if you have 100 clicks and you have 2 buyers in there, you divide the 2 buyers, that cost, through the rest of the clicks, right? So you can say, you know, for everybody, and that's how you get these earning per click. I've done it in a couple videos, but you'll see where it's like, okay, I made $1 every time somebody clicked on this solo, right? What you may not know is only 4 people bought out of that solo, but because I was selling a $1,000 or $1,500 product, you know, and I did a 500 click solo, I got 500 clicks, 4 people bought. If you average that through the amount of people, I made good money per click, right? I'm making money every time somebody clicks on my ad. You know, I've got over 70 leads today, right? From 150 clicks, from $11.54 ad spend. So really the reason why you guys aren't making money online and aren't able to do a lot of lead gen and get a lot of leads and make money that way is because you're not going about it maybe the right way. And you know, in a 10-15 minute video, I can't take you step by step on everything to do and how everything should be set up. So that's where coaching comes in. And I'm not saying get coaching from me. I would like you to get coaching from me. But if you don't get coaching from me, get coaching from someone, right? Because this is how I advanced my business. I went out there and I paid for some training. I got some training, and I got some information that really changed things for me, right? And not just with Bing, but I spend on myself. If I want to know something, I go to the guy who knows that, and I pay for his time, and I get him to teach me what he knows. Right? That's the quickest way, because you can do this, right? You can figure all this stuff out. It may take you 6 months to a year or something like that. Or you can go pay $1,000 and learn it tomorrow, right? Take notes, maybe videotape or record the conversation, and now you can go back and reference that, right? And you can buy books and all of that stuff, but really, someone is going to be able to teach you, because you're going to have these questions in your head, and they're going to get answered immediately. Right? Because if someone, one of my coaching students asks me a question, I answer it, right? Hey, this is what popped in my head. What do you think about this? I answer it right away, right? So it cuts down on the time it takes for you to actually learn the real skills of the real things that it's going to take to generate the leads that are going to turn to the sales in whatever business it is that you're in, or whatever it is that you're promoting or trying to sell, or whatever it is, the reason why you want these leads. So I just want to, kind of go over these things with you and make sure that you guys understand. And if you're looking for training like this, there's a few ways to get it from me, right? And I'm going to do a shameless plug here. You can either get coaching from me, or you can join the business that I'm in, MOB, or my top tier business. And if you don't know what that is, just click the link below and get the information. But when you join those businesses, the business that I'm in, and you're actually positioned at the higher level, right? If you're positioned at the minimal level, you're not really serious about your business, right? Because you're one of those people who are saying, I'm going to take these sales that I'm getting, and I'm going to go and reinvest my money, and it never works, right? It never works like that. The guys who are like, oh, I'm going to spend and get in at the lowest level and then make money on that and then go turn that, it's not going to work, because the economics are wrong, right? If your economics are $20 or $25 and you're making that a sale, but you're spending $10, even if you're spending $10, by the time you spend $10 on your traffic, you have your website set up, you have your autoresponder set up, and you have whatever little tools that you need in place to actually do what it is that you're trying to do, you're over your budget. You don't have any money. You don't have any money to spend, right? So you're never going to be able to reinvest that money, right? Because you're making such little commissions, and you have this overhead, right? Building a business online, and I'm in the back of a brick and mortar business that I started about a year ago. Building a business online, the barriers are so low, right? You don't have to go to the SBA. You don't have to pay for payroll or payroll taxes. You don't have to pay for unemployment tax. These are real business costs, right? So everyone gets in these businesses and they want to spend $1, right? They have that employee mindset. And you want to eradicate that from your thinking as soon as possible, because employees don't really make a ton of money, right? And I mean that in all facets of business, and that's what people don't understand. They look at somebody who may be a basketball player, right? So say you play for the Mavericks, right? And you're and I use this example because I like Mark Cuban, but if you spend a lot of money, and you spend a lot of money on your employees, right? So if you play basketball for the Mavericks, right? It's owned by Mark Cuban, right? You're saying, oh, these guys are making millions of dollars. Mark Cuban's a billionaire. For every person who thinks that the highest person inside of that business or whatever it is, the owner of the business makes entirely more money, or exponentially more. The only reason why a business owner can pay someone, I'm talking about professional sports, a high dollar player, the only reason why they can pay that is because they're making a tremendous amount more. So I hope that video helped you guys out, and if you have any questions, need any information, want to get in touch with me or anything, just click the link below, or send me a message. We'll talk to you in the next video.